Hi, and welcome to the last episode of Small Town Stories. This is a podcast about 5 people in the small town of Blagoevgrad in Bulgaria. These are the people I have seen every day for the past 4 years, who have made this town feel like a second home. In the last episode, you met Pesho, the crabs guy, and in this episode you'll meet Vitka, a lady who sells flowers in a small flower shop on the street. I am your guide, Elsa Kelmendi. This is the 5th and the last episode for this podcast. It is the story of the flower lady. March 8th is known as International Women's Day all over the world. But in my home country, Kosovo, March 8th is a little bit more special. It's Mother's Day. It's March 8th today, and I can't go home and celebrate with my mother. I'm in Bulgaria, and my mom is at home in Pristina. But I did arrange for her to receive flowers on my behalf. Hello? Hey, чекаме. Ние, чете. Куджа, откам печи? She calls me to say thank you for the flowers and to tell me that they made her emotional. When I was looking through the bouquets online to pick what flowers I would send my mom, it brought back a memory I thought I'd actually forgotten. Let me paint a picture for you. It's the day before International Women's Day, and the year is 2016. It's the second semester of my first year in university, and I'm on spring break. I couldn't go home to Kosovo this holiday, but my mom decided to come visit me instead. It wasn't much of a surprise, really. She had told me she was coming. But when I realized she was going to be here on Mother's Day, I figured I had to get her something. So the day before she arrived, I roam into the streets of Blago, searching for a shop that sells flowers. And then I remembered I'd seen this kiosk-like flower shop near the preschool and the courthouse. Before you get all confused, let me tell you where we are. The narrow road I take to class every day opens to a 5-way intersection. One of the roads is the Street of Umbrellas, and on the left side of it, there's a courthouse. Next to the courthouse is a preschool. The small flower shop is in front of the two, sorta in between. Just outside the shop, there's a wooden 2-step staircase and a green plastic table with flowers in vases. The flower shop resembles a kiosk more than it does a shop. It's really small, but there's just enough space for the flowers. I pass by this shop every day on my way to class in the main building. It's around 1 kilometer away from campus. I go to the shop to pick out a bouquet for my mom. I walk in, and the air inside is perfumed by a heavy scent of petunias, roses, and tulips. There are flowers on shelves around the shop, and on the left corner there's a staircase. The white vases with flowers in this staircase are arranged by color. The whites are in the middle of the staircase, with red roses at the bottom. There are 2 shelves on both sides of the corner staircase, and on them, There are fruitless flowers with thick, dark green leaves brushed up against the ceiling and the side walls. Did I mention this shop was small? Some of these flowers are in brown and white vases, and others are in small baskets of different colors. I don't really know the names of all these flowers.
Горе това, което е остромерия. На долното ниво е остома.
So up there it's Ostromeria, then after that we have Ostoma, then we have the Chrysanthemi, mini roses, normal roses, and mini Gerbera, tulips, Karamfil, and all the flowers that are cut. I have different flowers depending on the season, and these are the flowers I have for this season.
By cut flowers, Vitka means the flowers that are arranged in bouquets. Those that are kinda dead. You know, the ones that are not planted in soil inside a vase, but rather in water? She puts bleach in water to keep them alive longer. The flowers she keeps in her workshop change depending on the season. Vitka goes to the market once a week to buy what she needs for the coming week. Underneath these shelves with flowers is a stand with cards arranged by occasion. Anniversaries are on the top, birthdays in the middle, and love cards are at the bottom. Right beside this stand is another, one of ready-made bouquets for the people who are in a hurry, or Vitka says sometimes even for those who might have forgotten an anniversary. On the right side of the shop is another small staircase. White and pink orchids stand tall on the top of it, and below are red and orange petunias with yellow daisies in the middle. Peonies of all shades of pink are at the bottom. There's wrapping paper on the floor and some over the flower lady's desk. There's an air conditioner above attached to the wall. And the flower lady's working desk is on the right corner of the shop. Hidden behind it, there's a small sink. Another small stand is on Vitka's desk filled with cute little cards with special messages inside. And there she is, Vitka, watering flowers. She's short, with red-dyed, wavy hair reaching down to her shoulders. Her skin is pale, and she's got almost no wrinkles. Her thin, lifted eyebrows, round and small hazel eyes, and her sharp nose give her face a very serious look. But she's a nice woman, with good teeth and a sweet smile. Although she doesn't talk much. And it's not because she's shy, she just seems like the person who'd rather work and not engage in conversations with her clients. She's lived in Blagoevgrad all her life and has been selling flowers since 1997. She graduated from university with a degree in forestry and then started working as a furniture designer. But in 1997, Vitka lost her job, and that's when she became the flower lady. The 3-year period between 1995 and 97 was a rough time for Bulgaria. It was the time of the economic crisis. The people included in my podcast don't know each other, but they all have at least 3 things in common. Besides their connection to me and the fact they all live in Blagoevgrad, the one other thing they have in common is how the economic crisis affected them in 1997. Most of them had to switch professions because of the economic crisis. Let me tell you a little bit about this. It was the fall of 1995 when people started spreading rumors about the poor conditions of the commercial banks. And in the early 1996, these rumors were proven truthful when 2 banks closed. And in November of that same year, the state savings bank was going to be shut down. This was Bulgaria's largest bank, which had almost a third of people's household deposits. And if this weren't bad enough, Bulgaria's currency, the Bulgarian lev, dropped extremely low. I'm talking more than 500% low. Today, 1 Bulgarian lev is around 50 cents. And back then, $1 or €1 was equal to more than 3,000 Bulgarian leva. If you had 100 Bulgarian lev, you were rich. Right after the currency dropped, the foreign exchange market got extremely out of control. At this point, people started piling up foods in cans, and shopkeepers were refusing Bulgarian lev in exchange for the things they were selling. Prices increased by almost triple the original. People couldn't afford to buy anything, even a loaf of bread. And what followed were people going on strikes, blocking the roads, and demonstrations all over the country. There was almost nothing left of the country's economy. Retail shops closed, and people were left without a job, staying at home. And with all that was going on, the country's president at the time was forced to resign, and then a completely new government took over. Things started to get a little better. But a lot of people, including Vitka, couldn't go back to their old jobs. They had started a new life and had adapted to it. It was too much of a risk to take trying to go back to what they used to do before the crisis. Vitka started thinking about changing jobs back in 1995, when the crisis had only shown preliminary signs.
Обмислил го близо 2 години.
I was thinking about it for 2 years, what I'll be doing and how I'll be doing it. It wasn't spontaneous. It wasn't anything by chance. This was the last 2 years while I was still working, and I started to get used to a new way of living.
The flower lady had a conservatory, where she and her mother were growing flowers and then selling them. But after a while, her mother became of age, and Vitka realized she just couldn't do both alone. She had to choose between growing flowers and selling them.
Самото отглеждане отнема страшно много труд и страшно много време.
Growing flowers takes a lot of effort and lots of time. I came to the conclusion that two things cannot be done at the same time. You're either a producer or a seller.
Имаше период, в който отглеждах.
There was a time when I was growing flowers in the conservatory, but now they are imported from the Netherlands. I go to the market, I buy some flowers, and that's how it happens each week.
Когато имах оранжери, когато отглеждах в оранжерия и цветя.
When I was growing flowers, my parents were helping me, but now they are too old and they cannot help me anymore. So that's why I gave it up.
The flower lady enjoys selling flowers. Even though she had to change jobs from being a furniture designer to selling flowers, Vitka says that something good has come out of it. She now considers herself a lot more creative in the way she arranges bouquets. I have been a student for as long as I can remember. I wanted to be a mathematician. I wanted to be a doctor. I also wanted to be a lawyer. But now I'm studying journalism. And I can't help but wonder, what will I be doing 20 years from now? This was the story of Vitka Urumova. You can listen to this podcast on SoundCloud, YouTube, tuning in to UBG Spotify, Podbean, or in the official Wix website. All the links are in the description. Small Town Stories was written and produced by me, assistant produced by Jason Murphy. Our supervising editor and producer is Laura Kelly, and music was composed by Kevin MacLeod. Thank you to Vitka and voiceover actress Kristina Stamatova. And to my friend, who helped me with the interviews and translation, Tsvetana Haydushka. Thank you to my cousin, Donat Gashi, for the website designs. And a huge thank you goes to the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication at American University in Bulgaria. I also want to thank my mother for her everlasting and invaluable support and for believing in me. Until next time, take care of yourselves. And thank you for listening.